All right, guys, got it set up, and we're going to get started here in about 30 seconds. Hello, Mr. Norman. Welcome, sir. How's things in Kentucky?
Well, we've gone from summer like on New Year's Day to back down to below freezing and talking about snow.
Yes, sir. Welcome to North Carolina and Kentucky weather.
We've got snow up here in Canada, too.
Oh, you want to see my shock face?
Oh, come on now. Christmas Day out here, it was 75 and there was snow on the ground this morning.
That's funny.
With a wind chill of 3 degrees.
All right, guys, hang on one second. I'm going to put us into presentation mode and we're going to get this thing started. Let's see here. Okay, fantastic. I just went ahead and put us into presentation mode so we don't have any disruptions or any distractions. Fantastic. So, hey, Happy New Year to everybody. I hope everybody had a strong close to your 2021 and went out there and tried to build some momentum and get ready for the new year. And there's an old saying that for every ending, there is a new beginning. And that's exactly where we are. It's just a reset, right? Time for us to be able to say, okay, this is where we ended up last year, and the scoreboard went back to 0-0, and now we have a fresh start to be able to go out and write this chapter of our life book that we have going on. So congratulations to you for being here. This really is one of the most important trainings that I've participated in and run on many occasions over the last 20 plus years being an entrepreneur and stuff like that. So I'm always excited to do this and be a part of this. In case you guys don't know me, my name is Bill Guyther, and I live in a little town called Lowell, North Carolina. I've been an entrepreneur for over 2 decades, about 22, 23 years. Have come from family businesses, owned a couple of traditional businesses, just done a lot of stuff. Currently run a couple of businesses, and probably will have some more coming in the near future. And I just like to go out and do things and make things happen. So I'm an author. I've written a couple of books now, and it's done well there as well. A lot of people are like, oh, you should write a book. I finally did write a couple of them. There's going to be some more of those coming out in the series and stuff as well. So I got my hands on all kinds of stuff. But one thing I found to be congruent all the way across the board is goal setting. It's imperative to your success. And what I want to help you get out of tonight's Zoom that we're doing, and I may have you participate a little bit here, ask some questions here and there, if any of you guys want to participate in it. But I want you to leave out of here to have a proper understanding of how to set goals, right? How to professionally set your goals, because setting goals is not just a haphazard thing. And you're going to learn, you're going to hear this word intentional a lot tonight. So you have to be intentional about that kind of stuff. I also want to have you, by the time we are done here tonight, which I hope will be an hour or less, I want to have you with a good, solid foundation of, we got people still coming in here, a good, solid foundation of your goals set. If not completely set, at least a solid foundation that you can build on over, the next day or two, and get those things all ironed out. So let's just get right into it here tonight. My first question that a lot of people probably think or ask is, why set goals? Why set goals? You can think about them. You know what you want. Why set goals? Well, it's real simple. It's what successful people do, right? It's what successful people do. You have to be intentional. I know my friend Jay Norman here the other day, we just had a conversation, and that term intentional came up in our conversation. And you really have to be intentional on what it is that you want to accomplish in your life. So some things you want to know about setting goals right up front that I want to just put out there. And again, I want to teach you how to properly set goals and give you a good foundation as you leave here tonight. So some things that are important that you want to know about how to properly and professionally set your goals is, number one, is goals are different than resolutions or affirmations. Okay, they're different. And you may, put them all kind of together and think, well, it's not the same thing. Setting goals is different than a New Year's resolution or affirmations that, even though they're similar, they are different. The word resolve itself if you hyphenate that word, resolve. To me, it's like I have to solve something that I've already done before, right? Because I'm going to resolve it. I don't ever want to be, resolving anything, redoing anything if I can avoid it. I want to continue to move forward. I want to achieve and excel and move forward, from that. So resolve, totally different. Yeah, I can think back. My daughter Kylie is on here, and I can think back to one time it was New Year's Eve or close to it. And my wife and myself and Kylie were all riding down the road in the car. And my wife got a phone call from a young lady that was a youth leader at our church. And she wanted to talk to Kylie. So my wife handed her the phone, and we couldn't hear what the lady on the phone was saying to Kylie. But I heard in that conversation, Kylie stopped her and said, well, I don't really set resolutions. I set goals. Now, she was maybe like 12, 13 years old at that point. And I just remember as I'm driving down the road, hearing that conversation, the one side, that I could hear, hearing my 12 or 13-year-old daughters tell this adult young lady, well, I don't really do resolutions. I set goals. So, even at the 12, 13-year-old mark, she knew there was a difference in a resolution and a goal. So I want you guys to know that too. And we'll talk more about affirmations as we go. Second thing you want to know about goals. Your goals should make you uncomfortable. Your goals should make you uncomfortable. A lot of people, I think, set their goals at a low level where they feel like they can obtain that because they think, well, if I obtain this, then I'll feel good about it and that'll help me, go to that next level. And maybe, if that's what works for you, that's what works for you. I just know this. Success is found outside of your comfort zone. No doubt about it, right? You have to be uncomfortable to succeed. You have to stretch that comfort zone in your life. And here's the great news is once you stretch that comfort zone, it's stretched. It's never going to go back. So what was once outside your comfort zone can now become inside your comfort zone. And that's how you know you're growing. That's how you know that you're going to get there. So stretch yourself a little bit as you're setting your goals this year, okay? Third thing I want you to know, goals must be written. Goals must be written. Now, a couple things here. Number one, I know we have a lot of technology, right? We got all these smartphones and all this stuff today, and it's easy to open a notes app and type things in, or maybe you're on your computer and you're typing it on Microsoft Word, or if you're an Apple person, you're doing whatever platform you use for that. But the reality is there is something magical about picking up a pen and picking up a piece of paper and taking a thought, right? A thought that you have in your mind, right? You have that thought, you put it out to the universe or to God or whoever you think about. There is an actual measurable electronic pulse when you have that thought. So there's something magical about having that thought and receiving that energy. And as you're having that thought, letting that run through your body, out your arm, down your hand, and into your pen and onto a piece of paper, okay? There's an energy flow there that I can't explain it. It just exists. And it's very different to sit down and write your goals versus type them. So I always recommend, go old school on this exercise. Grab a pen, grab a notebook. I have so many of these notebooks around that I've used over the years. I have a whole plethora. Somebody told me years ago, always keep a notebook with you, take lots of notes, save all your notes. And then one day you'll be able to go back to those notes and write a book. Well, guess what? That somebody was right, okay? That somebody told me the truth, because when I wrote my first 2 books, I used a lot of those notes from back in the day. So know that it's important that you physically write your goals down. I just saw a message that somebody said they're having an audio problem. Are you guys having trouble hearing me at all? No? Okay, so it's not on my end for that person that messaged me. It seems like everybody else can hear me okay. So make sure your goals are written. The other thing too is a lot of people think, well, I have my goals in my head, right? I know what my goals are. Listen, again, something magical about writing them down. Goals that are not written are just dreams and hopes, right? Goals that are not written are just dreams and hopes. For you to make them real, for you to make them tangible, you have to pull them from here and get them written down on a piece of paper. So that's the third one, I think. Next one, They must be very clear and very specific. Okay? They must be very clear and very specific. The more clear, the more specific they are, the better off you're going to be and the more apt you are to achieve those goals. Now, I learned this one the hard way probably about 4 years ago now, how important it is to be very clear and very specific, because one of my goals this time about 4 years ago, I had reached my heaviest weight in my life. And, to be transparent with you, I was, about 365 pounds. I had really just gained a whole lot of weight. I know that sounds a lot, and it is a lot. Now, keep in mind, I am 6'5", so that does help a little bit. But, the fact is I was way overweight, heaviest I've ever been in my life. My goal that year, one of my goals that year, was to lose 60 pounds, to get to 300 pounds by the end of the year. And I wrote that down as one of my goals. Now, here's the great news. I actually accomplished that goal. By the end of the year, that year, I had lost about 65 pounds and I was down to 295 pounds. Here's the not so good news. The way I lost it was I became diabetic and got sick and lost the weight. So what was my lesson there? My lesson was I wrote my goal down. I knew what I wanted to accomplish, but what I didn't do is I didn't support that goal and make it clear how I was going to lose that weight. So it's very important that your goals are very clear, right, and very specific. I can't stress that one enough to you, okay? Next one. They must have a deadline attached to them. Okay? Your goals must have a deadline attached to them. You can't just say, hey, I want to buy a new car. You have to say, I want to buy a new car, and be specific about the car, and on or before this day, date, and time. And we're going to give you some examples and stuff here shortly, but make sure that they have a deadline attached to them. And again, stretch yourself a little bit, make it uncomfortable for you. Next one. They're best if written in the present tense. They're best if written in the present tense. I personally, when I'm writing my goals, I personally like to use the words I am. Right? I'm a Christian father, Christian husband. I believe in God. I've seen God work in my life many, many, many times, and I'm not trying to preach to you, but here's what I know is in the Bible, God is referred to as the great I am. So I like to have those two words in my goals when I set them, I am. Now, I've learned over the years that you actually expand on that, and you actually can start every one of your goals. And I highly recommend this. I've started doing it. It's been a game changer. That I am so happy and grateful that. Right? I am so happy and grateful that. If you've ever seen the movie The Secret, which you can actually watch on Netflix if you've never seen it, a great movie. And this is where I learned this one from. I am so happy and grateful that. And as soon as they said that the first time, I was like, that's good. It still has the I am in there because I like the I am, but it takes it a little bit further. I'm so happy and grateful that, because an attitude of gratitude will take you a long way. So reminding yourself of that. So best was written in present tense. Last thing I want you to know about, things to know about properly writing goals is be sure you're focused on what you want. And don't worry about how it's going to happen. Right? If your goal is, to pay off some bills, you don't want to say, I am grateful that I don't have as many bills coming in. You want to say that I am grateful that I have an abundance of money, right? So focus on what you want, not what you don't want. Okay, so be careful of that. That's something that I see a lot of people. They figure, I want to stop something. I don't want this in my life, and they get focused on that. And you're still giving life to that thing that you don't want. So make sure that you're you're focusing on what it is that you actually want. So real quick, just a quick recap of that, because I know a couple people came in a little bit late. Things to know about properly setting goals. Number one, goals are different than resolutions and affirmations. Number two, your goals should make you a little uncomfortable. Number three, goals must be written. Number four, goals must be very clear and specific. Number five, goals have to have a deadline attached to them. Number six, they're best if written in present tense. And number seven, be sure that you're focused on what you want, not what you don't want. Okay, everybody got that? Okay. Now, for me, when I'm setting my goals, there's 5 areas of my life that I make sure I have goals set in. And you may have more. You may have things that are more specific. That's fine. I'm not saying these are the only 5 areas. I am saying, though, that these are 5 areas that you certainly want to set goals in. So number one, the first goal you'll want to have is a goal for your faith or spirituality. Okay, a goal for your faith or your spirituality. A second area of your life you definitely want to have a goal in is a goal for your family or your relationship or relationships. Okay, your third one is your finances or your business. The fourth one is your health or your wellness. And then the fifth one is material things. Okay? I mean, everybody wants to have something nice. Everybody wants to have something exciting. Guys, there's nothing wrong with that, with wanting to live a better life and drive a nicer car and have a nicer house. Sometimes I think society has beat us down to think that it's bad to want to have more and better. I'm here to tell you that it's not. Okay, so the first one is your faith and your spirituality. Your second, family or relationships. Third, finance or business. Fourth, your health and wellness. And fifth, material things. So as you go into setting your goals, here's the question I want you to be thinking to yourself. If anything were possible, what would you like to achieve? Okay, it's a great question to be asking yourself. If anything were possible, what would you like to achieve? Because so many times we limit ourselves from what we'd like to do because we don't believe it's possible that we could do it. Right? Maybe you've seen the memes that go around the internet that show the word impossible. If you break it apart and put a comma between the I and the M, it actually says, I'm possible. Right? I'm possible. Okay, so don't limit yourself. The question is, if anything were possible, what would you like to achieve? Again, stretch yourself. Make yourself a little uncomfortable. Okay? So I'm going to take about 60 seconds on each one of these guys. Let's go ahead, before we do this, pick out about 10 lines on your paper right now, right? 10, 12 lines on your paper. And I want you to write down 5 times, I am so happy and grateful that. And skip a couple lines and write it again. I am so happy and grateful that. And let's get that written down 5 times on your paper. I am so happy and grateful that. I am so happy and grateful that. Would you guys like wave at me, give me a thumbs up, raise your hand on here or something? Let me know in the chat when you have that written down. I am so happy and grateful that, when you have that written 5 times, so I know that we're done. Somehow signal me and let me know you completed that. I am so happy and grateful that. Thank you, David. I am so happy and grateful that. All right, thank you, Carol. We'll give it another 15, 20 seconds and we'll move on. Thank you, Wiley. I am so happy and grateful that. All right, thank you, Ava. All right, John, thank you. Okay, guys, so it looks like most everybody's through that. So hopefully you have that written down 5 times. So let's go ahead and let's set your first goal. Okay, let's set your first goal. And you just want to continue that first sentence. Your first goal is your faith or your spirituality. Your faith or your spirituality. Okay, so finish that sentence. I am so happy and grateful that. And what is one faith or spiritual goal that you would like to achieve this year? Okay, just get it down there. Don't worry about writing it properly just yet or anything. Just make sure you get it down. Make sure you have that thought on paper. Okay, I am so happy and grateful that. What is one faith or spiritual goal that you would like to achieve in 2022? We'll give this about another 25 seconds or so. Again, if you could signal me somehow, raise your hand, give me a thumbs up. Okay, let me know when you got that. Perfect, perfect. I am so happy and grateful that. One faith or spiritual goal. Thank you, Ava. All right, thank you, David. Looks like most everybody's done with that, so let's go to the second. And look, you can see the pattern here. I mean, if you want to skip ahead, feel free, but here's the second one, right? You already have it written down. I am so happy and grateful that, and write down one goal for your family or your relationships that you'd like to achieve this year. I am so happy and grateful that. I'll write down one goal for your family or your relationships that you'd like to achieve this year. All right. Put some thought into this. If anything were possible, what would you like to achieve? Thank you, Carol. I am so happy and grateful that. Finish the sentence for your family or relationship goal for the year. All right. Thank you, Wiley. We'll give about another 10 seconds, guys. We'll go to the next one. Family or relationship goal. If anything were possible, what would you like to achieve? All right, let's go to the third one. Third one, I am so happy and grateful that. Finish it out with a financial or business goal. A financial or business goal. I am so happy and grateful that. Finish that sentence with a financial or business goal. Keeping in mind, if anything were possible, what would you like to achieve? Thank you, Carol. Again, you can signal me when you're done, so I know when most of us are completed. That'd be great. Thank you, sir. Thank you, Wiley. Thank you, Sandra. I will give about another 10 seconds. Thank you, Matt. All right, let's go to the fourth one. I am so happy and grateful that. Finish that sentence with a health or wellness goal. I am so happy and grateful that. And get one health or wellness goal. And I'm just going to take you through these and make sure you have at least one by the time we get done here tonight. But you can certainly expand on this. You can certainly write more for each category. You can have multiple goals. I encourage you to put more thought into this as we get done with this Zoom here tonight. Okay, so our fourth one is, I am so happy and grateful that. Complete that sentence with one health or wellness goal. We'll give about another 10 seconds. All right, so the fifth one. I am so happy and grateful that. Finish that sentence with one material thing you would like to acquire this year. One material, maybe it's a new car, maybe it's a new apartment, a new house, maybe it's a new phone at the price of cell phones today, right? Maybe it's a new phone, new laptop, new computer, whatever. For my wife, it's like a new pair of shoes every day. I'm just kidding. Okay, I am so happy and grateful that. Finish that sentence with one material goal. And as I was putting this training together, I went through this whole exercise myself as I was putting it together for tonight. And, so my goals are all set and ready to rock and roll. I'll share a few of those with you here tonight. All right, so let's open it up a little bit here. Everybody is muted, so if you do want to speak up, you'll have to unmute yourself, but I'll ask that when you're done that you'll mute yourself back out. My first one, my faith and spirituality goal, I am so happy and grateful that God brought me to a church on or before March 31st, 2022. See, we had a good church home for a while, and then it ended up falling apart. And while I still have my personal relationship with God, I do miss the law of association, right? Being around the people, the body there to help keep me focused where I need to be focused in that part of my life. So that was one of my goals. Is I'm so happy and grateful that God brought me a church on or before March 31st, 2022. All right, so that was one of mine. Does anybody want to share, your faith and spirituality goal? Go ahead, Matt. We'll listen to you on this one.
I've read that. I'm so happy and grateful that I have read the whole Bible by December 31st, 2022.
Wow, that's a good one.
Yeah,
that is a good one. There's a special way you have to read it too, and there's some ways out there to teach you how to read it properly. I've been through that. It's pretty cool.
Yeah, I have the Bible app, and I signed up for the Bible in the whole year course.
Nice, good stuff. All right, so the second one was your family or relationship. Anybody want to share your family or relationship goal?
I'll share mine.
Go ahead, Carol.
I am so happy and grateful that our family will draw even closer than we did in the last part of this past year, I mean. Yeah.
That's good. Fantastic. It's a great goal to have. All right, third one is finance and business. Anybody want to share your finance or business goal? Anybody? Speak up or raise your hand or whatever. Go ahead, Kimberly.
That I get back to where I was and surpass it at $1,000 a day. And not just for material things, but because I miss giving. I was able to give so much before and I haven't been able to. And it's like, my heart's sad because of that. So it's just to get back to that and even surpass it this year.
Okay. So you have that. That's how you have it written down?
Yeah, like $1,000 a day. So I could take care of my family and give to others as well. That's what I wrote down.
Okay. So can you just read to us exactly what you have wrote down? I am so happy and grateful that.
Oh, I am so happy and grateful that I will be back to my $1,000 a day plus so I can give to my family and meet their needs and give to others as well.
Fantastic. Good stuff, guys. Good stuff. All right. So that was the third one. The fourth one, health and wellness. Anybody want to share your health and wellness goal? Anybody?
Well, I do it.
Hold on, Carol. Let's see if anybody else wants to. If not, that's fine.
Okay.
Anybody?
Or I can do it.
All right,
Either
Carol,
one.
let's go on to you, Carol, and read your health and wellness.
No, somebody just said they'll do it. Go ahead.
No, that was Matt. He's already done one too.
What's up? Okay. I am so, well, I don't forgot which one was it, the health and
The
wellness.
health and wellness.
I am so happy and grateful that our family will overcome all the health issues we have endured over the past few years.
Okay, that's a great goal. Mine is, I am so happy and grateful that I reached my ideal weight of 240 pounds by June 1st, 2022. Right? June 1st. Why June 1st? Well, I got to get my beach body together for Tiki World, right? So, got to have that, right? All right, what about the last one? Material things. One material thing. Anybody want to share your material thing goal? David, you got your hand raised. You want to share that one?
Yeah. So I am so happy and grateful that our new home is finally set up by July 15th, and everything is in place, and we have it all set up for the next year.
That's a fantastic one, and I know you guys just closed on your new house, right? Have you spent a couple nights in the new home already?
We've spent one night.
Fantastic, man. Congratulations.
Thank you.
All right. So good. So now hopefully everybody has at least one goal in each of those categories written down. Again, you can expand on that. You can, write more for each categories. If you have another category or some other area of your life you want to set a goal in. These are just guidelines, okay? I did notice a couple of you that read your goals did not have the deadline attached to it yet. Start thinking to yourself and ask yourself, when do I want to have that accomplished by? Okay, when do I want to accomplish that? You have to give the universe a deadline on when you intend to accomplish that. Other than that, I thought they were a great start. And we're going to help you with that here as we move into this next part. So anybody have any questions or anything they'd like to say before we move on to the next part? Just give you a chance to open up here if anybody has anything.
I just want to add something, Bill. Doesn't it have to be quantifiable or measurable? And then don't we have to not just write it down, but like state it to someone to hold us accountable?
Okay, yeah, we just hadn't got there yet, Ava.
Oh, I'm so sorry. Thank you.
No problem. No problem. All right, so good. Moving on. Now we got some goals set. And remember I said to you earlier on, there's a difference between a goal, a resolution, or an affirmation. And it took me a while to really get this, right? Because I really confused them because goals and affirmations are very close to the same thing. So I was like, how do I decipher the two, right? I mean, this is my goal, but I affirm to do this, right? So here's what I finally figured out, I don't know, a handful of years ago, 8-10 years ago. Affirming your goals is crucial. Right? You have your goals, but now you have to affirm your goals. And here's where, and this is what I figured out. Here's what affirm stands for. It stands for activity focused for intentional result management. Activity focused for intentional result management. What does that mean? So many people, when they're setting goals and they're putting them out there, they get results oriented. All they can focus on is the result. And being results oriented and results focused can be disappointing. Because you guys do realize that we don't always reach all of our goals, right? It doesn't always happen. And if you are results oriented, if you're results focused and you don't achieve a goal, a lot of people take that hard and they get upset and they make it a lot worse than it is. So what I've learned is the thing to really focus on once you have the goal set is the activities that it's going to take to get to that goal. Okay? Affirm means activity focused for intentional result management. Activity focused for intentional result management. Okay, what do I mean by that? Well, I said to you, one of my goals is to, where would it go? I'm so happy and grateful that I reached my ideal weight of 240 pounds by June 1st, 2022. That's a good goal, right? But I want to affirm that goal and say, where to go? Here it is. So I affirm that goal by saying, because every day I meditate in the morning for at least 10 minutes. I stay very conscious that my body is a temple, and I make good choices of the foods I put in it and the physical activity I use it for. Okay, so I extended that with an affirmation of activities that I'm going to do to reach that goal. Because I can focus on the activity, right? Every day I can make sure I meditate. Every day I can make sure I stay conscious that my body is a temple and I have to treat it as such. Every day I can make sure that I'm making good choices of the food that I eat. And every day I can make sure that I'm out doing physical activity, and I can just focus on my activity goals. And I can celebrate the win for the day, not that I got the result that these activities will bring, but that I actually achieved the activities for the day. And I can celebrate that I actually achieved my daily goal. Okay, so another one, just give you another example. My first goal is I am so happy and grateful that God brought me a church on or before March 31st, 2022. Here's the example. I pray to God every night asking him to deliver me to a new church. Or I can put the whole thing in there together and say, I am so happy and grateful that God brought me to a new church on or before March 31st, 2022, because I prayed to him every night asking him to do so. Okay, so we affirm the goal. We affirm, we give ourselves affirmations that support the goal. Is this making sense to you guys?
Yes.
Okay? And it really made a difference for me in understanding what a goal was versus an affirmation. Okay, so you want to take some time and you want to affirm your goal. So let's just take like 1 minute each. What time we got? It's 7:38. We got time to do this. Let's just take like 1 minute each. Go back and visit each one of your 5 goals and write an affirmation of the activities and the things you're going to do to support you reaching that goal. Right? Affirm your activities to that goal. Just go through each one of them. Now you saw what your goal is. Now, what are some activities that you can do every day or every week or every month or however often it needs to be done? What are some activities that you can affirm that you're going to do every day to help you get to that goal? And what you're constructing here, guys, is your daily to-do list. And if you've ever read Brian Tracy's Eat That Frog, he talks about always knowing the night before you go to bed what it is you have to accomplish the next morning when you get up. What you need to get done the next day. And what I found is by knowing exactly what I have to do every day, I can wake up in the morning and have my to-do list ready of all the stuff that I need to get done. And I typically can knock them out a whole day's worth of work in 3 or 4 hours because I'm focused on what it is I need to accomplish. I know exactly step by step, bullet by bullet, what it is I need to do today. Right? And the term eat that frog means, when you have your to-do list for the day, you eat that biggest, ugliest, nastiest frog on your to-do list first. Right? So the most difficult thing you have on your list to get done for the day, do it first. And that's another mistake that I've made many times. I've seen people make is they have their to-do list and they try and knock out all the easy stuff. And then before you know, at the end of the day, the big thing that you had to get done still didn't get done. And now it's on your to-do list again for tomorrow, right? Get that big thing done out of the way. Eat that frog first. Okay, so make an affirmation of activity for each one of your goals. All right. Anybody want to share something that you wrote to affirm your goal? Any one of your goals, your pick? Remember, affirm is activity focused for intentional result management. I'd like to find somebody that would like to share one of the things you wrote to affirm one of your goals. All right, Brian, let's go to you. I see you raised your hand. Tell us something you wrote to affirm one of your goals.
Well, when it comes to health and wellness and reaching my goal of 180 pounds by July 1st, tracking that I am going to use the apps I have available to me to track my workouts and track all of my nutrition, which will help me stay focused on my nutrition, which we all know is the majority of losing weight and getting healthy is in the kitchen. So
there's an old saying that we dig our grave with our teeth. That's a good one, Brian. That's a good one. Anybody else want to share an affirmation you wrote to support one of your goals? Anybody?
I'll go.
Go ahead, Matt.
I'm working 20 to 40 hours per week in my business to earn $100,000 by December 31st, 2022.
Okay. So your goal was to earn $100,000 by December 31st, 2022. And then the rest of that is the affirmation of activity that you wrote to support that.
Correct.
Okay. Fantastic. And we're gonna tweak that even more for you here in just a minute. Okay. Here's something I want you guys to write down. Here's a question. I want you to write down the answer to this question. And the answer is going to be different for each of you. Okay. Assuming that you're already packed, right? Your suitcase is packed and you're ready to go. Here's the scenario. You have a 1 p.m. flight tomorrow. What time do you have to wake up in the morning? You have a 1 p.m. flight tomorrow. What time do you have to wake up in the morning?
8 a.m.
8 a.m. Who else has got an answer?
9 a.m.
9 a.m. Okay, Ava? Carol says 6 a.m. Ava, break it down for me a little bit. You have a 1 p.m. flight. You're already packed. How did you come up with 8 a.m.?
So I have to go backwards, right? Because I'm going to the airport. I'm going to have to go through security. And that could take anywhere from 5 minutes to an hour, right? So I have to give myself an hour and a half ahead of time to do that. Okay. I need to drive to the airport. I have to figure in the drive time to the airport or have someone drive me to the airport. Do I have to drop off my car or is somebody going to drive me? I've got to do that. I got to make sure that I have food packed because I hate that airplane food. I want to have food on the plane. So I have to have that prepared. I have to make sure that I go over and make sure all my makeup's done. And I go through the whole list of things that I need to prepare for to make sure that I pack the suitcase the night before, but also the last minute things that I go through, I have to go off that checklist. I need to make sure that I eat so I'm not cranky. I have to make sure if I'm traveling with my dog that the dog is taken care of and that dog is packed up and I have all the things that the dog needs. I need to make sure I have time to call clients because they're going to be calling me no matter what. at the least possible second. I need to make sure I have my clothes ready. I need to make sure I've worked out a little bit beforehand. So there's a lot of things I have to have in place.
Sounds to me like you better get up about 5 a.m. That's a list. I'm just playing with you. That was good. Now that was great. Kylie, I saw you raise your hand. How did you come up with your answer of 9 a.m.?
Yeah, I mean, about the same. I don't have to do everything that she has to do, but I always get to the airport 2 hours early. So now it's 11. If I wake up at 9, you have to take time to get ready. Obviously, commute time, which is about 15 minutes. And then make sure that you have, all last minute things packed as well. So that's where 9 a.m. came from for me.
Okay, great. And that's exactly right. And guys, here's the purpose of that is in your goal setting and accomplishing, right? Because we don't want just to set goals. We want you to achieve goals, right? Setting goals, we want you to achieve these goals. So you have to begin with the end in mind. And that's the greatest way I know to get people to see that we already do that, right? If you have an airplane flight at 1 o'clock, I'm like you. Okay, well, that means I got to be there 2 hours early. That makes it 11 a.m. I know it's a 15-minute drive out to the airport from my house. So that's 10:45 a.m. I'm going to have to get up in the morning, take a shower, have a cup of coffee, do my last minute stuff, feed the dogs, all that. And I'm like you, Kyle, I'm about 8:30. I'm getting up in the morning, right? So we already do that. But guys, in your goals, it's the same thing. Okay? You're going to begin with the end in mind. You've now written your goal. You're now affirming your daily activity that you're going to have to do to support that goal. And now you can start thinking about, okay, if my goal is by December 31st, that means I need to break it down to this is what I need to accomplish every month. This is what I need to accomplish every week. And this is what I need to accomplish every day. You can even go as far down to this is what I need to accomplish every hour that I need to get it done. Right? So begin with the end in mind, just like you're making that trip to the airport and you're prepping for that. Here's your goal, here's your deadline, and work your way back and figure out what is it that I need to do every single day. And then focus on that activity, right? Knowing that the activity, if I meet my daily goal, I'll meet my weekly goal, I'll meet my monthly goal. That means I'll meet my 6-month goal or my 1-year goal, whatever. And it all comes down to me making sure I just do everything I have to do every day, right? It's called the a day factor. It's what you do every day that matters. If you miss your goal today, you miss your goal tomorrow, guess what? You're going to miss your goal for the week. You're going to miss your goal for the month. It all comes down to the a day factor. What are you going to do every day? So always begin with the end in mind. All right, and then you want to write additional affirmations. Guys, affirmations are affirmations that, are just a good thing. Like I wrote some that things like people want and are buying my products. That's a great affirmation for me. My body is a temple and I treat it as such. I only breathe fresh air. People like me and do business with me. I am always trying to help others. I always win or I learn. I grow my knowledge daily by reading books, listening to audios, and attending seminars that will improve me. Money comes easily and frequently. I never settle. I always strive to be more, give more, and have more. The universe conspires to do me good. My God desires for me to have an abundant life. Okay? So write down lots of affirmations. Just make sure that they're congruent with the goals that you set. They don't have to, they don't have to just be just for your goals written. Just make sure that they do support your goals that are written. Does that make sense? It doesn't have to be directly to your goal, but an affirmation of something you're doing that supports your success of that goal. All right. Now I'm going to give you guys right here the two things that for me, more than anything, these things help me achieve my goals more than anything else. Okay. Number one is once you have these goals all written down and everything, take some pictures of them, make copies of them, whatever. Put them everywhere you can see them a lot. Put them everywhere you can see them often. So every time you turn around, like when we were really, really going crazy after goals early in our business, my wife will tell you we had our goals stuck on the fridge. If you opened the fridge, they were hanging in the fridge. There was one on the bathroom mirror. There was one stuck to the middle of my steering wheel in my car. I mean, I had our goals everywhere. So put your goals everywhere. Okay? If you meditate, you want to visualize what it looks like when you achieve that goal. Okay? Visualize what it looks like when you achieve that goal. Get that feeling. Okay? When you can feel what it feels like to achieve that goal, it's going to happen. Right? When you can feel what it feels like to achieve that goal, it will happen. So get that feeling. But then here is the most important thing I'm going to give you tonight on your goals and affirmations. And this is a Bill Guyther thing that I just kind of put together years ago and started doing. And, you know, it worked so good, I quit doing it and I started doing it again. Is I understood that, you know, our conscious mind is the mind that we, you know, use to think about things and do things that we want to do and we tell ourselves to do. But your subconscious mind is the part of your mind that just does things without you thinking about it, right? And I told you earlier that, you know, when you have a thought, there's an electrode, an electric pulse that can be measured, right? That thought goes out to the universe or to God or whoever you want to call it. So here's two things to help you empower that thought. Number one, into your subconscious mind. Number one, thinking questions. Thinking questions. Because statements don't require an answer. Right? So if you say, you know, I want to earn $100,000 by December 31st, 2022, that's not putting that thought out to the universe that's going to require the universe to bring you an answer. But if I said, I have earned $100,000 by December 31st, 2022, how did I do that? Or how do I earn $100,000 by December 31st, 2022? If you're thinking that question and you put that thought out to the universe or to God, then that's going to require an answer. And it's going to bring you an answer. This is why you don't have to know how you're going to do things. You just have to know that you're going to do them. And thinking questions. Okay? And then here's the second part. Take the time, open your phone up, go to your voice recorder. Once you have all your goals and all your affirmations written, open your voice recorder and record yourself reading every one of your goals and affirmations and record it in your voice. Okay? Record all of your goals and affirmations on your phone or whatever device you want to use in your voice. And then just listen to that over and over and over and over again. Guys, if you can get your subconscious mind believing that the things that you have written in present tense, I am so happy and grateful that, has already happened, your subconscious mind has no choice but to make it true. So by listening to your own voice, stating your goals, stating your affirmations over and over, listen to them when you go to bed, listen to them in your car, have them playing in your office if you were doing computer work or busy work, you know, have that playing all the time. Put your AirPods in and listen to it. And trick that, so get that subconscious mind believing that that present tense event has already come to be, and it will be. It's a game changer. So hopefully at this point, you have a good foundation for your 2022 goals. Hopefully you learned something tonight about how to properly, professionally set your goals. And hopefully you're going to take my coaching and go out and record those goals and affirmations and expand on those. And, you know, I usually try and have a 2-page front, you know, 1-page front and back of goals and affirmations. And that usually leads to about a 2 or 3 minute audio recording that I record and I start listening to over and over and over again on loop. So I hope you will expand on what we just gave you. I hope you will get them recorded. And I hope that you will go out and achieve the things that you desire to achieve in 2022. So let's open it up. Does anybody have any final comments, questions, anything at all that you'd like to say before we get ready to wrap this up? Anybody with anything?
Bill, it's Ava.
Go ahead, Ava.
Okay, so I just want to put this out to the folks that are on here because, you know, this is my third or fourth one of these. You know, every year we kind of do some kind of a thing of this. Every year it just gets better and better, but I think it's really important to write down your goals, follow up with your goals, but then also to look at your last year's goals to see what you accomplished or didn't accomplish. But what I want to say is whether you reach them or didn't reach them last year, to not beat yourself up about it, because we can get so focused on that we're not moving forward. So when you start to do that, tell yourself, so what, now what? So what, now what? Because yesterday is the past, today is the present, and the future is what we're shooting for. And just to be kind to yourself. And also the other thing that I've struggled with is allowing myself to have good things, because I was told for most of my life I was bad, or I was this, I was that. I was in a marriage that was abusive. I've dated men who've been abusive. And just because people say things that you don't deserve it, or you'll never be able to do it, or what have you, what matters is your relationship with your higher power, or your God of your understanding. And to know that you do deserve prosperity. You do deserve to be happy. You do deserve to have a life that has meaning and fulfillment, and that you are on this life, you're in this world or on this planet to be of servant to other people, to be of service to other people. I should say, that didn't sound good. And one of the ways that I do that is I work within the Legal Shield structure to do that. And I can't tell you how many lives I've changed through Legal Shield, how many families I've helped, how many businesses I've helped, and how much goodwill and fulfillment I have received by working with Legal Shield. And I'm not selling Legal Shield to you right now, but I just wanted to say that's been one of my avenues. Also, Legal Shield getting clients through politics and has allowed me to do politics. But now politics is feeding my Legal Shield business, and Legal Shield is feeding my politics business. And I couldn't be any happier. So I will tell you, when I first met Bill Guyther, I had given up on my thoughts that I could ever achieve a dream, that I was worth a dream, that my dreams were done. I was too old, too divorced, too beaten up to have a dream. And now I have dreams again. And for anybody out there who's questioning their dreams or doesn't know what their dreams are, just to keep going forward, set goals and dreams. And I will guarantee you, you know, you will be able to dream again, and you will reach your goals, and you will have the best 2022, the best year of your life. Thank you.
All right, fantastic. Thanks, Ava, for all those kind words. And guys, listen, one thing she did say there that is absolutely true, and I just want to say to you, is I've learned that for myself and for a lot of people over the years, a lot of times we don't think that we deserve the success that we want, because maybe we've made a mistake in the past, or we think we did something wrong, or that God might be mad at us, or whatever. And I just like to ask people, hey, do you think that God forgives you for the things that you've done? You know, is God a forgiving God? And everybody always says, well, yeah, he forgives me. Well, if God forgives you, then you should forgive yourself. And you should know that John 10:10 says, I come so that you may have life and you may have it more abundantly. And he wants you to have that.
Absolutely. And
all right. So anybody else with any other comments before we get ready to wrap it up? I wanted to keep this to an hour or less.
Bill, just one more thing.
Dave, I'd really like to hear from somebody else if we could first.
Oh, sorry. Sure.
Anybody else with any other comments or questions before we're ready to close it out?
Yeah, I have something real quick.
Sure.
I just wanted to kind of piggyback off of what Ava said in regards to if you don't hit your goals, to not beat yourself up. I just recently rewatched The Secret yesterday. And this guy was telling a story about he wanted to make $100,000 in a year. And at the time he was making $8,000 a year. And he proceeded to say that he worked really hard that year and he only made $92K that year. But obviously he wasn't upset about that because he went from making $8,000 to $92,000. So even if you don't hit the goal written, you usually get pretty dang close. So I wanted to share that as well. Absolutely. Remember, guys, that in life, you really should approach it as you either always win or you learn. I never lose. Okay, I win or I learn. Anybody else? We got time for maybe one more final comment from anybody else before we close it out?
Bill, Terry Cole here.
Hey, yes, sir. Go right ahead.
Hi, hey, this is Terry in Idaho. Question I had a special invite to this event tonight. Thank you so much. I've heard you before. But I was driving from Western Idaho to Eastern Idaho, just got here, so I couldn't take notes. So would this be available in a playback for me to go back and do the activity?
It will, actually, Terry. I did record this, guys. Once the recording is available on the cloud, I will download it, and I will upload the raw footage on my YouTube channel. You can just go to YouTube and search Bill Guyther. I'm the only Bill Guyther on YouTube, and you'll find it there probably by the end of the day tomorrow.
Thank you very much. I appreciate everybody's feedback and input to Bill so that I can hear and learn from that as well.
Absolutely. All right, guys, good stuff. Well, look, I have another Zoom that we're going to have to do here in a few minutes, so I have to get this wrapped up. Again, Happy New Year to everybody. Thank you so much for being here. Congratulations to you for being here. Again, look for this video to be on my YouTube channel. Just go to Bill Guyther, search Bill Guyther on YouTube. I'll have it up there by the end of the day tomorrow. Expand on your goals, get those things recorded, and start listening to them. And let's go out and make 2022 the best year you've ever had in your entire life. You guys stay focused, feel good, and bye-bye for now.
Good night.
Night.